next one, man.
Yeah, that right there is going to play into this series. So if you're NaVi, just drag this one out for as long as you possibly can and see if Gambit get fatigued. But Overpass is where we start here today. And last time round, the desk prefaced it, Gambit took this one in the best of 3 series. The 1x bet odds will be favouring the world #1. And we get this one underway here.
Ooh boy, Gambit on the T side. We do see Simple dispatched with an armored CZ towards those close quarters engagements of the underpass. He could come back to haunt him if he's pressured party.
Pretty standard spread here from Gambit on the pistol. Presence towards Fountain. Hobbit controlling the connector right now and retooling very quickly over towards the backyard of B. bumych is pushed on up, and this could play spoiler. Bomb is being scooped on up. Nades from navi being lined up as well, and Simple's about to have a duel coming his way.
Hobbit is a master of this underpass. I've watched many a Gambit overpass, and he just likes to hang out. Look at his screen, or his face. He's staring intently at that swing. It's Simple that surprises him, and now with blood drawn, they start their commit. Immediately equalizing into the site is Exile, and they have space. Contact for Simple, long range with the CZ, and it's a very threatening round. Only Exile, he'd on for an ace hit. Have to clutch up a 1v2. It's certainly not out of the realms of possibility. Simple denies. Great shooting from him. That was from the underpass. I mean, he didn't have any fights where he took that CZ, but just moving around and reacting to that Gambit B hit.
Yeah, good stuff there. Unfortunately, the kill reward for that isn't fantastic, so not going to be able to splash the cash that he otherwise would have earned, but a really good start here from navi, and if there was any reason to have a little bit of extra fire in the belly, they've lost to Gambit consistently, and now they're in a grand final where they get a chance to really show the world, are they this rejuvenated navi that everybody's talking about? Will just be the pistols here from Gambit. No Kevlar behind it. One flash for Axel. Well, if you caught the show yesterday, the amount of these rounds that fell.
But it never feels like a P250 and a flashbang should have a voice in this round. We remind you that this is just a conservative Gambit approach, and Simple's being very conservative in the pursuit of his first contact. He is, however, a bit locked in now. He might just have to fight his way out. Bits there in support. Electronic
long as well.
On his way towards long. Ooh, does need to build that CZ first. Fortunately, his teammate should be here to stop that recovery. If the FAMAS does fall into Hobbit hands, come on, guys. We know this is not how the script goes.
Electronics low as well here. There we go. Bombs dropped. Hobbit. 1v3. Sure, navi had a discussion or two about a few of the rounds yesterday.
Owie. That one's going to leave a mark. bumych, just as that crouch key is released, knocks the head off of Hobbit with that mid-range MP9. 2-0, converting the eco. Not too many casualties to get concerned about for navi.
Yeah, Gambit getting the AKs out here early. navi will be down to a glue for that extra util bump. We're getting the gun rounds underway for round number 3.
Whoa, that is a long list, Chad, in that top right. Overpass, Dust 2, Train, Mirage, Inferno, the order of our proceedings tonight.
Interesting to see Inferno left into the last. We know it's not high up in Gambit's map pool, but a map that they've been showing.
This feels quick, very good, or at least that util indicates something quick for that short control. navi, courtesy of the smoke, gets through the flames. bumych is ready though, and he just knocks him on his bottom. All that util, and a player gone. No trade potential whatsoever. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board, Chad. Are you ready for a Gambit round?
Yeah, well, we love it when they have a bit of a looky-loo. They go for a pick and then they drop on back. It's as a pack they roll, and dipping on out of dodge. You'll see Axel just get parked here as the remainder of his team, Shiro, Inters, and Hobbit. They'll be trying to reclaim a little bit of territory. Pushers could have come into this playground position. Really taking territory now with a minute 5 on the clock, so problems for Gambit early, but if they can catch Bit, who's currently isolated over towards long on his own, here comes that rotation.
Well, that's more than he could have bargained for. Safe info on long with an SMG. I say safe, it does look like he's going to be looked after here by Simple. And that's a great find. Shiro catching them on that peak, the flash and ice indicator. Simple wants to step into the void of Bit. And they are walking up on these toilets. It hasn't forced a rotate yet. Looks like bumych is now considering it, especially now the mollies are landing. Electronic is burning down to 30. Forced to tuck in tight by Bank APC. Can they contest that plant? Looks like Simple can. Inter's not ready for that and completely unprotected. There's a lot of navi here. They're going to struggle here. Just into the meat grinder, one after the other. And Shiro, he has already delivered with their opener. But with 10 seconds left, I don't think he's got an opportunity to close. Just going to scarper with the AK.
Yeah, had a 50-50 decision to make there, Gambit. And Shiro, instead of putting pressure on Long, was covering off the flank, and the rest of his teammates made their way up through the bathrooms. That allowed Simple, who, for whatever reason, didn't feel the pressure. He wasn't worried about dying in the back. Gets a huge frag and secures the next round for Navi here. So 3-0, but not out of the woods just yet. They have carried across 2 AKs. The guns can be dropped over. But Gambit, with this saved AK-47 on Shiro, they can upgrade into a few deagles, maybe light util, and keep this one competitive. Very, very early timeout here from Gambit, but lots of Counter-Strike to be played. May as well keep everything honky-dory out the gates. Oh, and they will be opting to go a little bit heavier with this purchase. Nafany, he's going to be buying into a Galil here. Hobbit's just done the same, so heavy investment from Gambit on a round where I thought it may have just been that saved AK, the only real firepower.
Yeah, they don't really want to let Navi build a bit of a runaway lead here on the first map's defensive half. 2 AKs in play. Electronic and Perfecto have been intermittently stepping up to the plate of that second start in Navi's frag total. Simple's having a peek. Nafany's already across, but that was his chance, and that was Axile living on the cross. Excuse me, Inter's on the deagle as well. Axile containing that monster aggression. It's not a fun job. It's not a glorious one.
No, one that he's very good at, though, isn't it?
He is one of the very best. Him and Kickit spring to mind in holding a whole CT side back just from behind a barrel.
Well, take a quick look, ladies and gents, in the top left. This is what you'll see time and time again out of Gambit here. If it's not this default spread, it'll be looks in towards Monster, trying to get a couple of cheeky picks. But they are just combing through the map here. And we know with the CIS teams, when we see them in the server, it is a slower approach. Now that crawl is going to be slowed even further. Smoke has dropped on out. We'll buy another 20-ish seconds.
Well, we heard from the pre-match media, Navi don't want to be the best in the region. They want to be the best in the world. And same sentiment for Gambit, talking about starting their own legacy, starting their own... Ooh. Think a little slither of Simple's been spotted by the AK of Shiro here, and 40-second mark, they start their advance. Navi are well ahead of this. They're cognizant of the pushes, and Simple's already spotted out another. Dispatches of Inters peeking every time. Damn, Axile delivers and takes down the prize scalp. Electronic recedes. Bumyc next contact, 25 for Nafany. Oh dear. Bumyc does manage to convert, and just Axile triple peaked. No way back in for him, and now Gambit, they put all of their eggs into that basket, Chadney. Yeah,
really good stuff there from Navi. Just peeking off of each other, not allowing those fights to be isolated too far down, and keeping 3 scalps alive. They're able to have a strong buy. Gambit on the other side of things, as you were alluding to, we'll have to just opt for these pistols now. Max loss bonus is in place, so if we're looking for a plant, that would be great to stimulate the economy going forward. Going to help them out from being in that cycle where it's pistols, AKs, plants. Going to be high on the agenda. Axile is into the AK-47 and the rest, those upgraded pistols, so really just having a hope a kill comes their way. Not going to be easy to force a frag, but Bumyc, he's got other plans. Back towards sewer, aggressive. Flash stolen up by the team, so that one could have got a little bit risky.
Hobbit up to his usual tricks, bit aggressive as well, swinging that door open, put Bumyc on a bit of a timer.
Bit solo A during all of this, so lots of pressure on the rookie here. Simple floating over with the AWP, waiting for the monster smoke to clear, and he's getting even more aggressive, Alex. This is interesting right now from Navi.
Ooh, chance for Axile, just spots Bumyc as he slips away. Bit's keeping his cool, he's not hitting the panic button, he's not calling for too much backup. Electronic is en route.
Bumyc and Simple are coming as well.
Oh,
so
damn. Nafany sold it with a Tech 9.
Hugely heavy rotate right here. Perfecto's currently on his lonesome right now, and the bomb will be coming through Monster. Lots of pressure on Perfecto. He doesn't know it.
He is very diligent, though, taking boost, short, pulls in as the smoke fades. Bumyc with the re-smoke. Monster will be the contact. Axile going to have grey screen here. Yeah, it's up to Bumyc, really. He's in the right place. And that's the info. Perfecto calls for assistance. And Axile presents his bottom for the spanking. Bumyc takes him down. Valiant attempt. It may not be done.
Perfecto's low here.
Yeah, it's a flash and go. Nafany is stalking the flank. If only he'd lived a little longer, could have had a chance. Oops. Very loud.
Very loud.
Simple needs to get his ears
well,
cleaned.
That's a great save right there. NaVi, he's going to be smiling here from here with that one. How does he walk away with an AWP?
So I heard from Simple that he broke his headset after that 2v5 clutch. He broke his headset yesterday, and he was using in-ears for the rest of that semi-final.
Yeah. Well,
maybe.
Should be pretty familiar with the in-ears, and maybe they've been able to get him a new headset overnight. I'm sure that there's plenty of people who would be
Dude, imagine if he did a tweet.
Does anybody have a pair of headsets?
Anyone in the Kiev area want to meet up?
I'm sure he would have had a couple of boxes arriving at his door. Doesn't look like he has the in-ears just there, so look.
It's a full headset.
Yeah, not the end of the world. He will get the AWP back out, but so does Shiro for almost free, yep.
Bit's on the way for a bit of aggressive zone. Flashed in by Simple, and that will indicate that there is a potential for this push, as will his nade. So perhaps it is just to put Gambit on a defensive stance. You can see the speed of NaVi's advance has been cut short. More aggressive flashes. Bit sticking around as well. Enters, and NaVi, nice find. Bit not going to be distracted by the contact to his left. Gambit, down a man. Hobbit's going to be caught on the walk-up. Great spray. There is an AWP trying to return fire, so does have to be a bit hesitant with the return of fire. Okay, yep.
Bit and Simple have just completely gotten out of their aggressive stance on A right now, so playing this number advantage perfectly. More damage being done through the board. Shiro's now half HP as well.
It does really hinge on Bit hitting everything, though.
Yeah, small margin for error right there.
Okay, it's short-lived, thankfully, and it does seem that Gambit are advancing into this site. Navi, so far, Chad, don't want to speak too soon, but their rotates have been very, very quick.
This has been bang on, but this is the little look-in from Gambit. They've smoked off, they've pushed in.
Sandbags and that boost of electronic.
4 players here.
Yeah, and they haven't found a thing. Now the contact will be taken at the simultaneous time. Oh dear, it's down to electronic, and he does step up in a very big way. Partnered with Simple, who can deny the plant. Inters isn't ready. And just like that, doesn't even bother to right-click. He's found the first. Simple's not expecting Hobbit here, though. And one heaven, Hobbit can win this. He spots the barrel. Simple caught, needs an adjustment, and he's not far off. It's Bit that pulls it across for NaVi. And 6-0, Gambit yet to leave a mark on their attack.
Oof, looking good, looking real good right now for NaVi. If they can continue this type of form, you can see how tight it is. They have their aggressive maneuvers. We've seen one with bumыч. We saw that one with Bit just there. But if they're able to keep it clean, they're isolating the fights and they're getting out of dodge. And that is one of the key elements here. You can see when you're in that 4v5 situation as Gambit and you were still playing the slow Counter-Strike, if you don't trade efficiently, right, we're not getting 2 for 1.
Dude, sorry, seeing electronic that hyped. 7-1 as well. Like, that's a component that you need to show up if you want this NaVi final to sing, and Bit has already shut down another. That's it, mission accomplished. Passive stance begins. Gambit are at the back foot every single time on these openers.
And there's nowhere else on the map right now they can sneak on in and look for a frag. You've got 2 players aggressive towards Monster, trying to set up a little boost here to deal with Axile, still passive. Hobbit into Shiro. They're scrambling now for some territory over towards A, but guess what? NaVi, they already dropped on back on their own accord. They're expecting this.
There's a lot to prove and a lot of sheer will and vigor in both of these teams in terms of that hot pursuit of wild domination. And no better scout for NaVi to take to really prove their worth.
Good info there, Nose. Hard right.
Simple, very, very brave to be clear in that close corner. Potentially boosted up by electronic to peek into the potential AWP line of Shiro. No one's home. They're walking contact toilets, though. We've seen this many times before.
It's the right stack from NaVi. They're ready for this. And bumыч and Perfecto will be behind them. Quick from Connector here as well.
But they come through the smoke, so when they look lost, Chad. 1 by 1, falling down. It's Bit this time with triple kill shut down of that toilet walk. And I think he's been spotted out. Simple doesn't seem confident in that long presence, so Hobbit has a slight advantage, but being peeked by Simple is no fun. Shoulder, and his 10th is found.
Okay, some quick maths here. If we just take a little bit of a look at the scores on the doors, what are we having in total here? 16 kills in total for Gambit within the first 7 rounds of play. You add Simple's 10 with Electronics 8. Well, they have 18 with just 2 players combined. Perfecto not even having to do a lot so far, just has 1 kill, but only 1 death to go alongside of that. So really great stuff from NaVi here out the gates. This is clean. This is very clean. Seems like they're isolating all of the fights. They're ready for every single moment that Gambit are coming their way. And the smiles on Electronic's face, yeah, that's continuing to tell the story just with this round recap.
I remember when Overpass first introduced to the map pool, we saw teams start to experiment with that CT aggression, and then it became, you know, the play. The find the first frag, turtle up into the site. It's been a while, though, since it felt this regimented. Like, we have watched 7 rounds of CT aggression into a more passive and rotational defense.
Yeah, I think normally for Gambit, when they do their default like this, they're getting the trades or they're getting the opening, right?
Sure.
They're actually able to capitalize. Navi aren't giving them anything right now, and then when they turtle up, it's fantastic how they are just securing these rounds.
Bit. It's literally just bit. No flashes from Simple. Maybe he's arriving now to provide. He's going to have a look, and he does convert off of the flash. He goes for an ambitious spray. Spray in return from them. He's actually gotten away with murder again, Chad. It's happened again. Gambit now limping with the man disadvantage, and slowly Navi recede back into the A site.
I don't think Gambit have found an opening pick just yet. I don't think they've been able to come out on top of any of these early fights, and well, clearly that's a key factor. navi down again, and he can be the playmaker.
Yeah, he's not started fantastically. 1 and 7 does seem to be testament to your theory. And they're pushing up again.
Yeah, they're going to catch them here, just in limbo.
That's the bomb. Oh, and that's 10 HP for Shiro. Pull up your socks, son. Get running. navi already going to be there when they arrive. This is so smooth. Like, their comms just seem super tight. They have not left a gap yet for Gambit.
Yeah, it just feels like there's that extra fire in the belly of Navi today. Lots on the line here, not just returning to the top of Counter-Strike, but taking down Gambit. Okay, well, there's an AK. Could get more interesting here. Bit is still low. bumych is playing retake. Oh, very passive from Navi, giving a lot of liberties here to Gambit.
Yeah, that AK on short, his responsibility. Bit's taking him down already. Last 2 on that site. Smoke to play around, and Axal actually shutting down. Perfecto, he's got 2. That's good damage. Inters, unfortunately, could not get away from that site. Too many players, too many options. AWP is saved. And still a big goose egg for Gambit.
And it is the opening kills. Just taking a look now. Bit has found 4 opening frags on his own. You've got 2 for bumych and you've got 2 for Simple. Not a single opening kill so far for Gambit in the first 8 rounds of play here. And that's real problems, real big issues. They need to change that and need to change it now. Might see something a little bit more aggressive here. Because they've been limping around the map here, getting picked off one at a time, unable to trade. Well, they got the full buy, everything they're looking for. 4 AK-47s, AWP on Shiro. This is the dream-looking purchase for Gambit.
Okay, now this is where their mettle will be tested. You're already facing a serious amount of adversity. You feel like you need all of them. What's the call, boys? What have you got for us? They've been really kept honest on this playground advance. Like, I expect to see some hesitance in their advance. navi, Shiro, Inters, all dispatched to clear out the toilets, and Long Simple posted up on Long as well. So we could see that Shiro Simple head-to-head for the first time here in the grand finals. It's a while away.
Probably a good idea to keep some eyes on navi here as we get this boost again.
They love it, yeah. I'm sure they studied Axal's holds, and when he does play close, he does like to be tucked in holding short pipe from that close corner.
Yeah, it's just an interesting way that they're trying to deal with this, so keeping vision while denying it for that of Gambit. A little bit of pressure felt from Bit here, but really nothing to be seen as down connected they slip.
I will consider this an achievement, though. This is Gambit not falling to losing a single player in the first 30 seconds. So step 1 complete. They really want to push this boost. Shiro's arriving now towards the pipe.
The hit's coming. The rotation from Navi is far, far away. This is Gambit's best chance so far.
Yeah, for once, they haven't got that upper hand, whether it's numbers or the info. Here comes the push. Flight path. Inter's not even looking. Looks like good trades favor Gambit. 30 seconds for that bomb plant, and smoke to be dropped as well from Axal. Might want to drop that heaven. Simple will have a little look in, but it's nothing but grey screens. Well, there we go. Gambit have broken their silence. And all it took was some even trades into that site. And the first time we haven't seen Navi have 3 on the site they plan to hit.
Yeah, and you can see a couple more bodies or even a bit more utility from Gambit was thrown out there to dissuade the aggressive maneuvers from Navi towards the party and long areas. And then when you took a look at Navi, they were searching for that pick, right? That's what they're doing with that smoke boost is a way to continue to find openings. So now we're going to see how deep this rabbit hole goes, how much of Navi really prepared for the default spread and maneuvers of this Gambit roster. Could see Electronic, he repositioned that to flash for these monster players so they could swing as the smoke was fading, but that timing was perfect for Gambit there. They pipped the gap, they punished that, and they found their first. I'm sure they're hoping their first of many. navi, not too many dramas in terms of the finances, but the money's not great. Not as great as you would be expecting with an 8-round haul. You'd think that, you know, we'd have a couple guys sitting with 8K, sitting pretty. That's not the case. Take a quick look at the bottom left-hand side of your screen there. Highest amount of money left in the bank balance after this purchase is Simple with 1K. So important round coming ahead.
Very important round. Bit and Hobbit could have a head-to-head here as they actually exchange smokes. That wallbang will suppress him. Now, we've seen Hobbit, bit of a pioneer of walking up on that left side. navi elsewhere, though, walking straight into bumыч. He loves getting that info safely. Nade baited out. They want to boost. Interesting. Okay, Electronic's got a util perfectly timed. They have to cancel, or do they? You know there's a crosshair staring right at you. But this is a great source of attention now for navi. They've got 4 players contending with this B pressure. There isn't a loose end unless Hobbit starts investigating the toilets.
Risky stuff here. Mollies are coming out now from Gambit.
They're
trying
up.
to push us.
They are up. Ooh, nearly an opportunity. Simple was en route. bumыч catching navi just courtesy of that trace of fire, and now the man advantage. Can they hold on to it? Exile gets very lost. And yeah, Shiro, they heard it. Can he do damage? Great angle management. Electronic doesn't give him a thing. And the rest falls into place. navi, we know how important this round was in terms of Gambit stringing together a couple of consecutive, and they just bite right back.
No need to push Hobbit here.
Didn't even spot him, so.
Oof.
That's a nice headshot angle for Electronic. Can't quite tame the spray, and another AK for play.
Ooh, things are going to start getting desperate for Gambit now. Things are going to start getting very desperate indeed.
It's great though, because I mean, you know, how often will we do that thing when we were like, so what do we remember? What do we remember about Gambit? We're like, oh, on the T side, they get all this contact toilet play. After the first 5 rounds of CT aggression, making you feel like a bit of a plum when you're walking up playground, it's no wonder they haven't returned to that side of their strat book yet.
Yeah, and I think this heavy B content that they're going for here is where they usually find a lot of success as well, right? With those monster fights that we're talking about, where they're able to walk in and secure the barrel jewels. And it looks like navi are playing very well off each other. Nobody is stranded on their own. Everybody's jiggling, trying to help each other out. So right now, this is looking like peak navi. And you can see just how ecstatic Blade is with how things are going.
2 legendary names of the region's Counter-Strike brains working together to get the job done.
This is not the way you want to be starting the series if you're Gambit, though.
No, far from it. I mean, it's not the confidence booster they would have needed. But I think confidence is far from lacking with Gambit. Every time they probably set their homepage on their Chrome browser to the HLTV World Rankings.
To be fair, I would say that coming into this, we wanted to see what version of navi we're getting, just like yesterday against Heroic, right? So this is good. This sets us up for what could be an absolute banger of a series, or navi destruction. Either way, it's something different.
Ooh, baby. navi has taken down that bumыч short hold. He's been very pesky from that position and getting the intel early. You can't be brave enough to just have a go. The nades bait out off the flash.
It's their second entry kill so far for Gambit in this game, and their first resulted in their only round. So let's see if they can convert again. So much damage being done through these bloody boards. It's unconfirmed. Electronic can't possibly know, and Simple, it's his chance to have a little swing.
I don't fancy navi's chances against the... Oh, yikes. One more touch of his keyboard, and Simple does pull the trigger. navi lives on.
Oh, they're pushing up through bathrooms right now. This is quick onto A. Pressure on Bit. He will be felt.
Oh my god, yeah. I think as soon as Simple pulled the trigger, they just started to run. Bit's gone. There's a chance here for Gambit. Can they convert 2 for 2 off of their opening picks? Perfecto's surely going to wait for the squad. Flashes coming in from Simple here. Smoke arrives just in time. They'd be grey screened if they push through, and that's it. That's the cancel.
Oh. When they win the rounds, it looks so easy.
Well, that could have been very messy, but that smoke arriving on bin was the point of no return.
Yeah, look, a couple of opportunities there, and you bang on with that Simple shot, right? It just felt like that was the trigger. That was the trigger. They just got to move on. They knew that the big man was not being able to lock down the site from range, push on up, isolate Bit, get it down, and that scramble back through spawn. Well, Gambit are actually the best. We see it that late on their CT sides, coming through the flashes. navi didn't want to take the risk. They can't take the risk. The economy's not there.
I mean, we know it's simple and Bit. I'm sure Gambit do too. And then you have Inters immediately just screaming, I've killed Bit. Around at that point.
Another key as well is bumыч was doing the secondary AWPing over towards short in a few of their jaunts on Overpass recently. So when you're keeping that in mind, bumыч was already dead, right?
Bingo,
so
bingo.
It's like, okay, we can just connect the dots. It's not that difficult, especially with how much these players are keeping in their noggins. But the gun's coming back out here for Navi once more. And if they can respond in kind, if they're able to connect another round together here and just keep Gambit in this horrible position, Navi will get to double digits. Very strong CT half if they do.
Simple wants to have another looky-loo. Just the challenge. That close walk-up is a threat.
Oh, navi might run him down
He's on
here.
a timer just around the corner. Oof, this is some Counter-Strike tonight.
navi definitely spotted something then, right?
Yeah, I think he definitely was working on something. Now, that is long control. I don't think Simple's going to be brave enough to repeat that.
Where are Navi going to look for a peek now? They've tried that gimmicky boost over towards that monster position. Now they're going to search towards toilets. Electronic is here as well. And quick, look how fast this is from Gambit. They've already started to retool back towards T-spawn, grabbing that bomb, working over towards the B site. navi's felt something here.
There is a 3-man lean A. Something's changed. Gambit have managed to identify the weaker of the two sites, as well as, of course, forcing that early contact long. That's going to have done a lot for the cell, for lack of a better term. Great Molotov as well. It just continues to compound on their fears of that A site. navi's selling this fantastically. He is still equipped with a smoke, so if he could get a frag or that smoke down, Electronic starting to float back as the context found. Perfecto is blind, hanging out in the jail. That's a big start from Perfecto, and he just says no. Full caps lock, N-O. navi provides something, but 28 seconds, and I think Perfecto's done enough. They've got the bomb monster. They can stack the site. 4 players for navi. Make it 3. Quick find from Hobbit. 2 towards that monster position. I don't know how Shiro's supposed to find a frag and a way in. Boom, it shuts him down. Perfecto for more. Simple spots the barrel of Hobbit, and there goes another. No time here, just no time. He'd love a plant. Simple's not going to let that happen, and he does go down 10-2, and it looks like the Navi comms are going to be getting a little louder at this point.
That Perfecto double kill, huge. Completely stops anything that Gambit really have to show for that round. I know it comes down to a 2-on-1 there in the final moments, but you can see the bomb when it's in no man's land like that. Unless the fights are completely gifted to them, this is Navi's round, and that's huge from Perfecto, right? You're sitting there, you're sitting in that jail position for so long, just waiting. You have to step up. And he has done right there. So that's impact from Perfecto. He's only got 7 kills so far, but you count those 2 as a round in themselves, and that's what we're looking for. navi, 10-2, looking great.
There's fire in their bellies today. Very exciting prospect for any fans of Counter-Strike.
Well, now that Flamey's pretty much gone, all of that old generation with Zeus, I know that Simple and Electronic were there with Zeus and Co, but that older gen is basically all flushed out now. This is almost a completely new look navi.
Certainly to observe. Now, navi and Electronic about to butt heads. He's nerdy enough to have a mark on the floor to make sure his barrel's not sticking out.
That's what we want to see.
That's what we're talking about. Still goes down. M4 VAK there. It's not even about the names, it's about the weapon. Just a bit of extra time.
Oh,
Dink.
dear.
Instead of the frag, navi wants to take this space, and it's got Simple and Bit's aggression kind of looking a bit awkward now. Look how much space he's demanding out of navi.
Very silent about this, navi. I know he's thrown the nades, but he hasn't made any footsteps. He's on his own here. They're going back towards the B bomb site, Gambit. This is all a ruse.
Oh, but it's so threatening. navi's got them. 3 of them are searching for him. Now the rotate will come in, but they're wide open into the side. Look how much space they've got stretching their legs. A walk in the park for Gambit. Simple's going to give it his best shot. Knows the Shiro AWP tucked in on that sandbag's position, but thinking better of it already. Damn, navi, that's what we were talking about. That's when he does his best work.
The thing is, once again, it's about the players he killed. So we've already identified here as the viewers at home that Electronic is the swingman. We know that it's Bit and Simple as the core 2 A defenders. Electronic's the 3rd man. If you see him back over towards bathrooms, you're going to assume the other 2 are doing something together, and that's exactly the right call there from navi. Under pressure, sells the entire fake, draws all the eyes of the A defenders, and even forces a rotate on B. So if we're talking about impact, that is huge stuff right there, and it will get that 3rd for Gambit. navi, with these saves, they're facilitating themselves to be competitive for the final 2 rounds of play here, and it's necessary saves. Take a look at the bank balance again. It's still in tatters.
Ugh.
It's really not looking fantastic. They can drop it across to make it work. So there aren't any dramas right now going into round number 14, but they lose this without any saves behind it again, and Gambit might be able to get 10-5 on the half, and considering how this one started with the 8-0, very good scenes. And again, that was another entry. So things are really starting to turn around for navi here.
You're telling me it's 3 for 3?
3 for 3.
And 10 for 10. Now then. Opening kills, as discussed, a must-have in round conversion in tonight's grand final. And already significant damage dealt to the hero of the previous round. Bit looking to respond on long, knows it's been open just a little too long. Oh, they are a little trapped. They might have to drop the smoke. You can see a pin pulled, but Shiro loves an open monster.
They'll see the trajectory of that, so they're aware. Nothing they can do about it immediately here. But here comes navi, so he's been gifted the space by the default. Now it comes down to his intuition.
Dude, Electronics on his way.
And Perfecto and bumych are dropping back into more of a passive stance on B again. Gambit are up to the same old tricks here.
This is exactly what he wants. Does he do the long smoke or does he just walk up? Ooh, baby, they're like walking into a wide open site. Look at Perfecto's angle. He's going to have to drop off now. A lurk smoke just to try and hide behind at this point. Quite a powerful set of lines he's developed with his own smoke there. They're slow to commit. And navi finds nothing onto Bit. It's Hobbit to open proceedings for Gambit. And this is going to be one to flip the script. The frags come one by one. Gambit for a 4th here. And as we discussed, they will just have to persevere with the save.
All right, well, first round so far in this map where the entry frag hasn't decided the outcome. navi there, just on his lonesome, and it's the presence alone. If you take a look at the map there, as soon as the A defenders fell under pressure, Electronic has to come back over in case there's a full exec. But the B players, by dropping back instead of staying forward, wait till we get to Gambit CT half. Hobbit and Inters will stay forward towards that monster position as opposed to dropping on back. They will defend so the rotation of their team can come over and set up a 180 crossfire for players coming out of short. The same thing can't be said here for navi.
Yeah. Frustrations when Perfecto doesn't deliver in the capacity he sees fit.
It's a difficult role over there towards that B site.
Well, especially given the amount of space they had. Like, he had so many uncertainties. There was so little info about how deep Gambit were into their site after that passive stance adopted.
Now check out the money here for navi on the last. It's going to be Famis's, a couple of pistols likely, maybe even an SMG. Yeah, it's going to be Deagles. So navi, they'll be really happy if they can grab one here before the end of the half. Have had to work in the last stretch of rounds here. Gambit are starting to come alive.
Yeah, well, same util that's been thrown on their aggress, but this time no one's behind it, trying to keep them honest.
Feels to me like one of these two have changed their game plan in the later stages of this, and it's not Gambit. They've continued to do the same thing. The only difference maker is navi aren't finding these aggressive picks. And speaking of picks, Axile with the Molotov, Perfecto's down. This one's looking great for their 5th, but Simple.
He wants more.
Needs
Returns to the line. Bit booked completely. Simple did not have that toilet walk up, so they have found a gap in that aggressive AWP stance. He's committed to this. He could lose his life as well. Axile not going to be expecting contact here. He is! What a ridiculous crouch peek. Oh, okay, ready for that. Despite his team's advance through the toilets, now just bumych and Electronic. Final round will give it all it's got. Axile's disgusting. Oh, lovely stuff. Axile's here, and so are Gambit. 10-5, we take those. Competitive half. navi, though, looking reborn in the grand finals.
пику его.
Зачем слева?
У меня смог, подожди. Хороший.
Поехали. Давай, пацаны, выглядите что.
Слева нет, Сань.
Я слева стрючу.
Хорош, Саня, блядь.
Лучший Саня.
Спасибо. Хорош, пацаны, вы. Дайте
NaVi break out of the gates of our grand finals with an 8-round start. It was CT side Overpass where they did the dirty work, and Axar pulling them across the line to 5 at the very end of things. 10-5 as we swap sides. NaVi now to attack here on the pick of Gambit. And starting as they mean to go on, NaVi definitely looking potent. This pistol, need I say more, is going to be very indicative as to how that momentum will translate. 4 sets of Kevlar, NaVi equipping a couple of flashes as well. Looks like they're going for that 4 early B. They'll use Exile to scout for any potential necessary rotates. He's going to peek that fountain, or at least listen through the underpass. Oh! Oi, Electronic puts Hobbit on notice. A goosh on his jump for info, and he's handed out 2. Brain damage for Gambit.
I feel like Electronic just pre-fired that first shot. It looked like Hobbit jumped into it. That is insane.
Well, that's horrible. They've not only lost Exile, they've also practically lost Hobbit and Shiro.
That is absolutely insane. Well, if opening kills or anything to go off from the first half here, NaVi should be set for this pistol, and well, the 17 HP combined of Hobbit and Shiro is going to help.
Never before. NaVi have been in 2 DreamHack Masters Grand Finals. They haven't won a single. Also attending all of them. 8 out of 8.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
And all 8 they've been in the finals or the playoffs. Now, if they just regroup here now, V, with the util they have, a simple execute onto the side. Electronic is keeping them busy over towards barrels. Hobbit in limbo between the 2 bomb sites. We'll get back towards this A site, but the util is landing here, and he's low HP. He cannot miss a shot.
Yeah, he tries to quickly flick into 1 and deleted by Simple. Uncontested plant. And Simple, he just wants to finish this right here and now. Just pushing through the smoke, and it's Inters to go down. Bit finding that. Poor old Shiro.
I don't even know if he'd be allowed to save here. Electronic did so much in this round, and
he's
not
come
sure
to
how
collect.
much exactly he knows he did. There he goes, finishes off with the final shot. And this Electronic is the one that I'm sure NaVi were looking for in a few of their other games. If he shows up like this with this type of aim, Jesus, God have mercy on Gambit here today. Oh, and I swear, that is ridiculous.
It's too quick.
That is insane.
Too quick.
Oof. Okay, well, if we use a couple of other bits of information to predict where this one might be going. Last time these two teams met, not that long ago, it was here within this same event. It was 16-7 in favor of Gambit in the victory. And the first half, their T half, they managed 10 rounds. This time only 5. So NaVi in with a real shot as we barrel through Monster.
Straight into Inters, and he's lost all of his vision. He'll be finished off by the MAC-10s, and both of them have connected. Even a third and fourth put in the feed very early into proceedings. This was an investment, a full one. They forced in and have nothing to show for it. Gambit are getting steamrolled here.
I really like that approach. I was just talking about before we went to a break, the power of Hobbit and Inter's monster hold. If you break that early, right, I know it's just a force buy situation, but if they continue to bully that while the util isn't there, while they don't have the full buy, while they can't set up with those rifles, it might be a crack that they could exploit as this game goes on. So it'd be interesting to see how they try and deal with this key area of the map. Axel just looking to hold on to this scout here. This is shocking, and in a good way from NaVi now. Just their approach, we've been loving the way that they're starting to get their T-sides together. A lot more ideas, a lot more plays. It's not just used as we would talk about it in the past, the two sharpest tools in your shed, right? It was just simple electronic. They'd send them around, they'd give them the deagles, they'd give them the AKs, they'd hope they'd find openings and then play the mid-rounds. Now, there's some clear ideas. And great stuff out of Bit and Bumyc with those MAC-10s. Bit here with 2 flash assists and 2 kills, so pretty handy round. 12-5. Boy, oh boy. Okay, well, Gambit have a couple of HEs to work with here that they've invested in for round number 18. That scout of Axel, if he can get a couple of tags, now we could be talking, but back underway we go. MAC-10s are out again.
Dude, the map pool as well, like Dust 2 is next.
Yeah, really scary.
That's Navi's playground, dude.
Really scary stuff here.
Reverse sweeps and best of 5s, by the way, are a categorical anomaly.
Well, they took a lot of damage there, and they've called out 3 grenades, so good information here for NaVi, and it has forced them to start looking over towards this A site, but it has also forced Gambit forward. Perfecto needs to be very careful here when he swings open this door.
Well, they might do it for him. Knock, knock. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior? USP. And Navi.
Well, they're going back to B. Okay, the bomb is now pivoting back. This is getting dicey.
Oh, there's a chance Bumyc isn't ready for this. MAC-10 up close. A chance now lost as he cleans up shop. It's only Axel. He does have that saved scout. He'd need to be handing out some real headshots here. 3 blind pot shots through the smoke. That's everyone within that 1-shot scout radius now. Bang. Number 1. Axel's about to teach us how to count. What comes next? I believe it's 2. And he's just going to try and preserve what Shiro may have wanted for the next.
Yeah, that'll be
It's not pretty, dude. It's not pretty at all.
It isn't. It isn't. This is a little bit worrisome in terms of Gambit in map number 1 here. NaVi are in a position to really run away with this.
But also, like, they've got their grand final off to such a great start for NaVi, but can I just turn it on the other foot for a second? Like, you have got your whole squad being humbled down to under double digits. Axel's great, sure. But, you know, Inters, he's got 3 frags in this entire first map so far. Navi struggled. We know, we saw it on that T side. 4 for Shiro, dude. We haven't seen a single CT AWP, and he may not get much of a chance.
Yeah, some real problems here. His cash situation right now means that his teammates will help facilitate it. And this will be Shiro's chance to step up. But the MAC-10s again doing the lion's share of work in another round for NaVi. And they're even going to upgrade going forward. I know that only 2 players walked out of that one, but it's going to be AKs. Won't be having any of the silly business with the SMGs. And this is a real chance. They win this first gun round.
Well, Shiro's on the AWP. NaVi are on for early control of that party position. Simple was just ready from waiting for that potential Molotov. So Hobbit's feigned connector control, but look how far ahead Perfecto is. He's actually going to walk through. This is a lot of info off the flash. Calls it quits, calls it clear.
It's a lot of pressure here, right? They've already forced Gambit back into this passive stance, and we know that they tend to stay in this. They don't swing as far forward. They don't seem to be searching in the same way we saw NaVi did on their CT side. It's just Axel on A right now. Navi is rotating back over. Hobbit and Inters over towards Monster, and while Shiro posted up with that AWP over towards Short.
Back to back as it fades, the double nutmeg. Does sound like a Christmas Starbucks order, I admit.
Just it's delicious when it works. bomb is so far back right here for Navi, so if they do find an opening kill, they won't just be able to spiral into the site as they would hope. bumыч may be considering that now. 50 seconds left on the clock and very forward stance being taken from Navi here over towards A. Bit
Long,
is,
toilets, underpass,
everything.
monster push, covered.
Still have to execute here though, and getting past Axel and navi on the site, not going to be an easy task. Perfecto now feigning control over towards the sewers there. It's all a ruse. Electronic rotating back now. This will be the A finish.
Oh, dude, and they've completely avoided Shiro's orb. He won't be able to play anything but retake here. The smokes will be up. It's up to Axel. He has his pop flash. Take notes, kids. Nothing to report. 19 seconds. Navi are coming. That's a great find. Bomb loose. 15. navi now has to step up. One frag demanded of him, and Electronics having none of it. Navi running down the clock. There's no way to knock him off that bomb. And they do their work so beautifully. Most teams, you're really going to be feeling hot under the collar at 15 seconds. Navi just leisurely stroll into that site.
Now they hunt. Simple, ooh, real chance there onto Inters, down to 46. And I think that might be it for the Hunts and Navi. I'm sure they'd love to take away as many of these saved rifles as they can, but Hobbit, Shiro, and Inters burrowed on in. Will retain. Max loss bonus in play.
Getting that control through just a smoke fading and both of you holding the angles, and then just having, because Perfecto was underpass, the fact he can just swing that door open, and I mean, it's a risk, but it's a terrifying sound cue to be hearing when you're already expecting something big.
And it looked like Gambit were very hesitant to rotate because the util landed, and then it was like 2 players pushed in, and then they stalled out a little bit, and there wasn't a heavy rotation. They were obviously very far away with their setup as well. 14-5 right here. Didn't think I'd be saying this, map number 1, especially with Overpass on the docket. Wild scenes from Navi. How quick can they close this? Might be doing Gambit a favor with their distaste for the best of 5s, really, if they keep this one fast.
Yeah, good point. One of the more satisfying smokes in the game, look at that. Just as Electronic arrives, it is a guise for his nade, and it will soften up that jump peak. Looks like navi was a little more sheltered than anticipated. This time, Simple's partnered up with Perfecto's underpass clear.
Yeah, well, I think we do see Hobbit in here from time to time, and he can be a nuisance. So Perfecto, with that smoke we saw miss last round, it actually worked in his favor there to help with control, and this time, nobody home to contest. So this pressure, this noose that we can see tightening right now for Navi, they're just creeping forward at quite the pace here. Axel needs to be careful, he's caught out!
Oh man, bumыч. Another opening frag for Navi. They are striding closer to 15. Shiro cannot afford to not be on the site as the hit comes in.
That was wild. There's no indication bumыч was going to take that fight. He just stepped up to the plate. I think a flash came in, stepped, gets the kill. Things looking real good here.
Bit contending with navi, and he's so good, his Bit.
17 for him.
Yeah. Loved learning a little bit more about the Navi higher-ups decision-making regarding Bit ahead of this game. Hobbit, so much to do. Does catch Perfecto's back turn, but now they're hunting, and it's another for Hobbit, trying to keep Gambit in it. Simple, not having any of it, charging into the site, trying to bait the shot, get any info he can, and Inters has pulled the trigger, they know. util raining in now. And spotting towards that graffiti, the AWP is present.
Bomb's loose, 10 seconds.
They do need to plant, and Inters is doing everything. Look at the move. Such a transfer, there's no time left. Simple, 3 seconds. Keep hold to what you can. Scavenge what else may lie. It's Gambit 6th and Hobbit stepping up in a very big way.
Yeah, and right there, if you guys noticed the way that Navi pathed into the site and where all their attention was drawn, well, we might catch it on the replay. Notice where they're focused. It's to Monster. All of them are looking down towards Monster. This is where Hobbit and Inters play time and time again. Some different CT side positions, some pivoting, and some fantastic multi-fragging here.
That transfer was dreamy.
Oh.
If he lost him just under that lip, that bomb could have been scooped up. God knows. Simple was alive. He could have defended that bomb plant.
Oh, Gambit on life support now.
The FAMASs are out. Every bell and whistle Navi could desire in play for round 21. Oh, that's baiting for the AWP though. He's not expecting this. Simple's holding it, and Simple shuts down Shiro. They'd love to retrieve it, but look at bumыч. He's surging forwards now.
Doing his best navi impression with this move.
Yeah, both of them, though. This is a lot more control than you're used to. And navi hasn't dropped a single nade yet. It's not going to get him far if they just contact out. Shadow. navi a little late to pull the trigger. It's going to fall to Axile. navi. I thought he'd play safe. He gives them the fight. Axile really is keeping Gambit's head above water at times. He is going to get cleared, and Bit still finding shots. He had a bit of a mess with the spray there.
Bomb still heading towards B. Big problems.
That's where they lie. And Hobbit, he was so good last time, and he does it again. Navi issues now as the bomb just about makes it around the corner. He's being hunted. Perfecto 2-8. 1 HP. It does 1 damage. 1 damage, and now the bomb is loose. 25 seconds. Good luck. Have fun, Bit. Very hard angle to try and clear. Baits the orb shot, sure. Molly, yes, but Hobbit with 4. And every time it looks like Navi are knocking on the door of 15, it's Gambit's Hobbit. Axile as well, the only 2 to be in the teens. Chasing 20 is Axile, but they keep him afloat.
This is where frustration might start creeping in for the side of navi. They have this massive lead, and these 2 rounds, they had real advantages in closing. Just heading into Hobbit, who stepped up, and we know that he's a big game player.
He is, isn't he? Like his semi-final was the MVP as well of that grand final.
Yeah, just frustration there. You know, you think if you're Gambit, you'd rotate somebody back over to deal with that A bomb site, but not having a bar of it here, and the buyback out from navi. Getting a bit desperate now. Perfecto down to a Tech 9. Deagle for bumыч. Galil in play as well. Ooh. Average buy at best. But they're rinsing and repeating this default. Perfecto continuing to get control. A presence coming on through. And maybe they'll try and keep it a little bit more simple here.
Yeah, we know how rounds can look, right?
Yeah, the strung out nature, that round was brilliant. Like Bit being the second man to help with that long fight, they get the kills. It's just they committed to that B bomb site. There was an avenue to rotate back, but obviously worried about the bathroom presence. They're not getting anything here in terms of information. Gambit just jump peeking.
If you keep doing that, Shiro, you might get slapped by Simple. They're coming. Axile confirms it, and Simple's posted up for that AWP to clear. Molly, what's Axile supposed to do? Burnt to a crisp. Shiro does connect, and into Simple. Down he goes. The site surely wide open. It's only navi with that FAMAS. They're flooding towards long. The rotate's on its way. These next duels determine everything. And it's quick from bumыч. He's on for 2 already. Even recovering an AWP, the smoke's locking out the contest from Inters. Oh, and he's spotted as it fades. bumыч has done it all for navi. The bomb needs to go down, and it does. Keeping it much more simple, and even bumыч posted up on his retreat. He's got no way out.
You ain't going anywhere, mate.
Simple's just trying to wallbang you. Oh, it's horrible. And he clears him. There we have it. navi take 15 and are running towards a 1-0 lead in a best-of-5 final.
This is looking very good to close right here. Money in tatters right now for Gambit. They're not going to have that AWP for Shiro. Has to invest into the scout. And navi break through, even with the worst buy. Isolation of Axile. This is perfect. Simple just holding the tight line. Shiro needs to do something. He's getting swarmed from all angles, and then bumыч. Look at this. Bosh sees everything. Gray screen for Inters.
They're coming, and Axile has the ability to call for Shiro's scout. but I'm getting deja vu, and he looks the wrong way. That was a necessary trade. Cost him a great deal. And NaVi starting to just apply the pressure. Completely falling out of the sight, nades galore. It is the 4v4, but Simple has taken a lot of liberties here. Standing on top of the bomb box, calls it all clear. Chiro getting run down. Simple wants to finish the job, and he will. Lovely control. navi is ahead of the pack. He'd love that frag, and he does find it. Simple gone. Maybe Hobbit could make something out of this. If Electronic does peek in, that's a quick one for Hobbit. He can't find it. There you have it. 16-7, and they love that. Gambit's pick, and it's snatched by navi. We'll see you at the analyst desk, and then up next, Dust 2.